consumption and give a voice to the unheard. This is the Morning Express on Mainland 98.3 FM.
Welcome on board the Morning Express.
Good morning.
Good morning, welcome back. Thank you for being on standby. This is Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. It's Mainland Focus. It's time for us to get your perspective on matters that have been addressed. We look at the Punch, we also looked at the Guardian newspaper and one report from the Vanguard. But as you know, a lot of times these stories are replicated across the front pages of our dailies, and that's why we try the best we can to give you the different perspective as reported in our different dailies. But right now we have two stories that have been selected for further discuss. We'd like to get your view on these matters. I'll refresh your memory just a little bit and maybe give you another insight into the position of our in-house analyst Fᴜᴜᴜ, just so you understand what the analysis is. It gives you an opportunity to come up with a superior argument or tell us an angle that you would like to explore when it comes to these reports. It's still Mainland Focus. I'm Sage Babalola. When you do call, introduce yourself, tell me where you're calling from, and then address the two stories that would be reeled out to you in just a minute. As expected, we'll be talking about the twin withdrawal, or should I say the twin defection or the twin blow that the PDP suffered in the last couple days and in the last 24 hours. Ademola Adeleke had resigned from the People's Democratic Party in November and have announced that he would be going to Accord Party. Mind you, there were reports that he initially was to defect to the APC, but there was a lot of opposition to his joining the party, especially in Osun State, and well, the Accord Party seems like the next viable option. The next, what exactly would be the advantages that he would enjoy in the Accord Party? What benefits? Well, let's call it a discord, or is currently facing a disagreement of some kind. They're not exactly able to establish themselves. And so will this pose an advantage for Ademola Adeleke, who has now defected to the Accord Party and has left the PDP? Sims Fubara of Rivers State have announced that he would be defecting to the APC. This is after 17 lawmakers had defected from the PDP. Mind you, the PDP is still threatening that, well, we would seek a legal action, not able to organize themselves, that the PDP is in too much turmoil to organize itself. Well, under the law, they're able to defect to a party that they think is more stable. Well, Sims Fubara has followed suit. He is exiting the PDP, and on two grounds. He says, first, the PDP was unable to protect me, and second, if not for the intervention of the now president, I would not be referred to as Your Excellency the Governor. I would have been a former governor. Is this a script that have been predicted just playing out? Were you shocked when he defected? What do you think is the APC? And as I said, I'd like for us to explore all the reasonable angles and not make this a conversation of personality. Let's focus on the issues right. And we're also going to be talking about what effects these movements, these moves, these plans decided to defect from the PDP to the APC and Accord Party respectively. Our second story is Wole Soyinka. He had a lot to say. He had a force to Benin Republic after reports circulated. 3 officials who had attempted to overthrow the government are currently on the run, and they're investigating these individuals. Patrice Talon says, well, peace has been restored, although reports are indicating that he's still very circumspect in his activities in the country. Patrice Talon himself has been pointed for opposition to even have an opportunity to contest fairly, and so this is what the need for us to involve ourselves in that particular situation. He also spoke about the recent demolitions in Lagos State and how due process was not being followed, as well as large entourage that we oftentimes see with certain individuals, especially in issues we're addressing this morning. Don't forget, today's Wednesday, and on Wednesdays all the other persons can, and then we take your contributions. Don't go anywhere.
And we can't support Mr. President if we don't fully identify with him, not backyard support. So we have taken that decision today since we've gotten the pass. Everyone here who have followed me, who have suffered with me, decision today, this evening, we are moving to APC.
Tinubu didn't have to send the Air Force and the military to deal with this particular insurrection, this threat to our own sense of security and equilibrium. No, there are easier ways of doing it. Let me tell you where Tinubu should have looked for forces to quell that insurrection. Right here in Lagos, right here, or in Abuja perhaps, I don't know. But there was no need to call the military or the Air Force. I'll tell you what happened. On one of my home visits, this about 2 months ago, I was coming out of a hotel and I saw what looked like a film set. And I said, oh, they're shooting a film. That was on the grounds of this hotel. And a young man detached himself from the actors, came over and greeted me, very polite, very nice young man. And I said, are you shooting somebody? I said, I'm just joking. Are you shooting a film? He said, no. And I looked around. There was nearly a whole battalion occupying that, the grounds of that hotel, in Ikoyi, right here. So I got back in my car and I asked the driver who that young man was. And he told me. And I saw this SWAT team, a mixture. There were at least heavily armed, at least some 15 or so heavily armed to the teeth security personnel. Looked sufficient to take over a small country, neighboring city like Benin. And I think the next time, the president should just call and say, Sheyi, go and quell the rebellion over there. I was so astonished that I started looking for the National Security Advisor. I said, track him down for me. I can't believe, I don't understand. And I described the scene to him. I said, do you mean that a child of the head of state goes around with an army for his protection or whatever? I couldn't believe it. Later on, I did some investigative journalism. And I inquired, and I found that apparently this is how this young man goes around with his battalion, his heavy armed soldiers. Of course, the road was cleared before his car went out. I stayed until it seemed he was leaving. So next time there's an insurrection, I think the president should just call that young man and say, no, put down those stupid people there. You have enough troops under your command, so don't bother me with all these security issues any longer. Let's not overdo things. This is not the first country that has a head of state. They are not suffers some injury and alienation when we see such a heavy devotion of security to one young individual. You'll excuse me, but I'm in an object of awards. I hope you'll excuse me for taking possession of my own center.
Wole Soyinka addressing motives or military operatives that are availed to and of people in power to enjoy such privileges. The 0913-6000-430. That's for WhatsApp. You can also send a text message. The number you call is the number you send your text message to. That's 0913-6000-410. But as I said, if you would like to call via WhatsApp, maybe because you're outside the country, this is Wednesday, and so we pay attention to those who are not necessarily.
Yeah, good morning, my dear sister. Text messages and don't call.
Okay.
You see, I remember record for subsidy up because it's one of those that put the judiciary. They are responsible. They refuse infection every day. I will put to party empty-handed.
He has faction. But why is Atiku and Obi not? Hello?
Hello, good morning. So
Morning.
this is Iṛsᴛ. It's not a funny thing anymore. Because, like ᴏᴜᴛᴜ said, even though I'm not a fan of him, because as a matter of course, so the thing is, it's even too wrong for the son of the president to have. As a matter of fact, I have witnessed it's larger than the entourage of a governor. I don't know as sorry, permit me to use that language, as low as this NW2 men following an NUT chairman one time. So I don't know what is going on in Nigeria. I don't just understand.
Thank you for calling. Hello. 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 All right, make it back if you can. 09. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Turn down the volume on your radio, please. Good morning. Your name is what? We cannot hear you. Your name is what, please?
Is that Mainland FM?
Yes, it is Mainland FM. I'm Sage Babalola. What is your name?
Good. My name is 괏ᴏ Fᴏᴜᴜ calling from. I think the right person to be there with so many people follow you. So, assuming that I'm going now, and about 1 million people follow me.
For personal security sometimes, so.
Personal security who following from Abuja. They are not
forces that belong to the country.
Even if they belong to international organization, they need to know they should pay them for that. Not she. Thank you.
Okay. Hello. Hello.
Hey, say, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. I greet you right back.
Okay, so this is James. It's not the first time you heard. This is not the first time he does. He has been doing this. One may say, well, it's the son of the president. Safety is important, but I'm happy that Soyinka is one that's coming out to say these things, because if it had been someone else, they would have found the person as an opposition. That's why he's talking. That I like the man. He will tell you if something. He will tell you. So it's good one that he's the one that is saying it him to order. Even the wife. My own problem with the Fᴜභᴜ. They comment. He did not even cite the issue of.
Did not protect him. He referenced the PDP.
And that's what I'm saying now. That's what I'm saying. It's more like a thank you to Mr. President. All of them, they're all going now because probably they are.
00410. WhatsApp is 091360. Is the right step? Was this a governor's? Are we still optimistic? Who first of all talks about the mass entourage that a site he thinks was totally unnecessary. The defection that we've seen from the PDP. Hello, you're live. I really don't know what's going on with the phone lines today, but just keep trying. And if you don't connect, you can send a WhatsApp message. Let's check for no effect in some state, especially in the north. Some of these defectors may not win their re-election. Please, can you tell us the faction of the PDP that is challenging Fᴜභᴜ?
Good morning once again.
Good morning.
My name is 괏ᴏ Fᴜᴜᴜ calling from Maribajo.
All right, welcome.
You see, about the politician that dribble from one goalkeeper to the other. When you are in the position, you know that people don't like you. Referee, you have to dribble him so that the referee will not see you. That's what Adeleke is trying to do. So Adeleke is already a failure.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning to you. Your name, please.
Yeah, my name is Joshua. The caller called and was mentioning that definitely we should look more towards who are their security concerns, but why give so many numbers of police out of your platoon? Tinubu not defending him, probably not even aware of everybody at his back. And sometimes they all have different why even after the whole thing. So what do you expect? So I think that's just my take. Thank you.
Good morning, Sage.
Morning to you.
Yeah, my name is Mazi. Sorry, please. I'm sorry, please.
No problem. Because if I let you... Hello.
My name is Iṛsᴜn.
Welcome.
My own take on this governorship decision or whatever, see, governors are winning who will win the state. So governor can decide to any, if they like, the whole governors in the whole state should decide to APC. That is
influence on voting blocks in their states, right?
Anybody who to vote for. He can only vote at his own family who they like.
but the masses have their belief that there will be a change in this country.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for calling. I don't know the proverbs, please. Those I just go back. Don't stress me. Okay. We have good morning safety and integrity in their dictionary. The salient question is, who is the political leader, the father in Aso Rock in a discreet way? Noah from Uganda. Okay. Stification is that Fubara at any slightest misdemeanor will be impeached now. Shoyinka has hit the nail on the head about the land. Hello. Please the volume on your radio. Morning to you.
Yes. Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. My name is Tutin this morning. Yeah. Fubara, the excuse he gave was not acceptable. We all knows what played out. Jᴏɪᴜ is a son of the president, but he should remember that there's a book. Of this president is coming to the end, and another person is coming up.
Who are displeased. They think is a ridiculous excuse for Fubara's defection. What would he say to you that would make sense and that would allow you to acknowledge his defection? Or you think that this is just a move for survival? Let's talk. Hello, this is quite loud.
Yes, right. Very well. You see, coming to the Shoyinka's when he crossed 1 year, and since then we haven't what is not good and condemn it. Jᴏɪᴜ has been going on about, not today, he has been going about with are going to call themselves. That's how the doctor went to those states to restore Iyaloja. Why the other, so what we are seeing in Nigeria is abnormal. Everybody do the way he like to do. Why should a single individual carry a return of army and police and other security to guide one individual? Is uncalled for.
Back and forth with this argument about the privilege, sometimes even when diplomatic meet, even before those who are actually heads of the department, child of the governor or the office of the child of the minister of security in terms of their entourage and problem, or is overbearing. And I remember one time people reference what happens in other countries, that even in Spain, in other countries, when these presidents go visit other presidents or do things, they go with their kids who use conversation a little bit. 0913-6000-410, WhatsApp 0913-6000-430. But for today, we'll take all your contributions tomorrow, but you can send a WhatsApp message, a text message, or a Facebook message. We're going back to the phones now. Hello, you have an opportunity to do so. We have Good Morning Mainland FM. What goes around comes around. Let Tinubu enjoy it while it lasts. He'll be through security from other Nigerians, and now they've been attached to his son, Engineer Boni from Alimosho. Politicians to defect. Our politicians are self-centered and do not value our interest. Louis said that one. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning to you. Welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Tell you that no matter whatever, either any governor, the 36 governors to win election. The only thing I just believe they are doing right now is for the rigging of election. I don't think this party can get to anywhere, can get to even though have all this election 2027 stuff. Thank you.
All right. Hello. Morning.
Hello, lady stage.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Dile, calling from Solo this morning.
All right.
On issue of River State in the Governor Fubara, from the onset, and I don't know where I used to start president or what. What you didn't know what the vaccine or what they discussed on it. I was using so not teaching the next generation, because all this we let them call their son into order. I don't know what is wrong with that.
Mr. Tat.
So my name is Bode Halabi from Ayobo.
Nice to have you.
The fact is, he did not. What he's only trying to say is that he is against surrounded him too much. That's what he was emphasizing. That at least he didn't support the minimum. And concerning and they did.
Thank you for your insight. Let's read more messages. We'll go to Facebook now. Nigeria should be aware that whatever makes opposition party pack up, it will be worse for us, because no government institution will be able to. John from Ago. Benjamin Issa says, good morning, Sage. Good morning, Fuad. It's better to be late than of security. Tomorrow, it will be another president's son erected. I really hope I was able to get the message across. There was a lot of mistakes there. Taufik Olaya. Oh, that's a message from Benjamin Issa. My apologies. Good morning. Nigerians are tired of empty promises, recycled propaganda, and suffering. Over 200 million people are watching. Good morning, Sage. Shoyinka is saying now.
Good morning once again.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, sir. I do, but we need to give other people a chance. You can't call 3 times. I allowed the first 2 times because your connection was a little poor. But I think the last time you were able to get your message across very easily. 0410. WhatsApp 0913-6000-430. Good morning, Sage. What Shoyinka is saying is better now. After all, what is Emilokan? It's their turn, and people should not complain because Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Morning, Madam Say.
Good morning to you.
Yes, Alhaji Musa calling from Kenya.
Welcome, Alhaji Musa.
Yes, it is their chance. Just give them the chance. When it's time to talk, worry. That's it.
The defection of Fubara to the APC is a welcome. Who thinks River State is in his pocket? As it stands now, Fubara has proven that wisdom is powerful than physical strength. I want a law to be enacted that will stop politicians from decamping from one political party to the other when their tenure of appointment is still running. That is, a politician and down. There's actually a provision for that, but there's the clause where the only time that you are allowed to cross carpet is when there is implementation of the law. That's the problem. I can assure you the Electoral Act provides for this. They just don't pay attention to it. Good morning to you, Sage. My name is because they are too large. Secondly, the public utterances of the president's wife and governor's wife's good governance. My name is Kwame from K2. I hope I said your name correctly. First time, speak truth to power about a man who had apparently lulled him with future. As his criticism of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, time will tell. FCT Minister Nyesom Wike and the President are the people who walked against him. He should not of police ought to be blamed for Sheikh Tinubu's mass escort. River State is gone as Fubara has defected. While watching, a fine from Ashishe, good morning, present him is taking orders and should be questioned. The President should, as a matter of urgency, ask that the matter be investigated with immediate effect. Nigerians don't learn their lessons on time. They are dipped into poverty by these same politicians defecting from one party to the other. Bad followers will never produce good leaders. Nigeria will survive. 0913-6000-410. We're taking text messages at 913-6000-430. We're live on Facebook. You can get an insight into what we're discussing this morning on Mainland Focus. My name is Sage Babala.
Fully identify within not Machian support. So we have taken that decision today since we've gotten a pass. Everyone here who have followed me, who have suffered with me, our decision today, this evening, we are moving to APC.
Tinubu didn't have to send the Air Force and the military to deal with this particular insurrection, this threat to our own sense of security and equilibrium. No, there are easier ways of doing it. Let me tell you where Tinubu should have looked for forces to quell that insurrection. Right here in Lagos, right here, or in Abuja perhaps, I don't know. But there was no need to call the military or the Air Force. I'll tell you what happened. On one of my home visits, this about 2 months ago, I was coming out of a hotel and I saw what looked like a film set. And I said, oh, they're shooting a film. That was on the grounds of this hotel. And a young man detached himself from the actors, came over and greeted me, very polite, very nice young man. And I looked around. There was nearly a whole battalion occupying the grounds of that hotel in Ikoyi, right here. So I got back in my car and I asked the driver who that young man was. And he told me. And I saw this SWAT team, a mixture. They were at least heavily armed, at least some 15 or so heavily armed to the teeth. Country, neighboring city like Benin. And I think the next time the president should just call and say, Sheyi, go and quell the rebellion over there. I was so astonished that I started looking for the National Security Advisor. I said, track him down for me. I think they got him somewhere in Paris, but I was with the president. He was at a meeting. And I said, I've just seen something I can't believe, I don't understand. And I described the scene to him. I said, you mean that a child of the head of state goes around with an army for his protection or whatever?
Welcome back. Still Mainland Focus on Mainland 98.3 FM. I'm Sage Babalola. Tell me your name, where you're called the Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism, where he was saying that, well, as much as we can deploy military forces next door, it's not just about the forces. It tells us a story. It tells us that we need to strengthen democratic safeguards rather than just deploy troops. His our first line of action, or the reflex action, our neighbors, is about paying attention to the lessons to be learned. Even the economic community of West African state is declaring as part of it is that the people in these countries are somewhat pleased about the fact that they're being ruled by military personnel, as opposed to enjoy it. But these countries that are currently must have suffered as a citizen bad with the phone line. So I'll just focus on reading messages until that issue resolves itself. Hopefully it does before we leave the studio. But let's read more messages. We have a lot. Good morning, Sage, and the rest of the mainland important than former Vice President. I don't think that's the situation. He said it's quite unfortunate. If care is not taken, the way the late Abiola states defection is very correct. The issue is if you cannot beat them, you join them. On Adeleke, the governor of Osun State, defecting to our accord. He's going nowhere. He's a jester. Professor Wole Soyinka is 100% correct on his comment on Sheyi Tinubu, and the president should correct the anomaly. Nigeria, the most dangerous country in the world, is red. We have terrorists given less than a platoon, which is made up of 25 men. Akpagwadio is a figure of speech. It's called a hyperbole. It's not even physically possible for a battalion to escort a person. He just said that to Good Morning Mainland FM, the son of the president. But thank you very much for your comments. Last, Fubara has succumbed to attended his face-off with Wike. For me, Fubara is not different from Wike he was fighting. It's all about their own personal aggrandizement. I'm looking for. I've missed you so much. Says, good morning. There's a clear message to citizens that we're not ready to have elections for Adeleke to return to power in Osun State. What is playing out now is a case of few oligarchy trying to hold firmly to Commonwealth by all means. God will deliver the land. Muiwa from Abuja. Thank you, Muiwa. Another item than larger members of the state assembly who have defected to the ruling party. It's glaring that the country is gradually heading towards a one anymore. The way forward is to amend the Electoral Act. None under a democratic government will stop. Find the families of political office holders. Permit me to ask, is there any constitutional connotation from the Jagmo community? Thank you very much. I should still be able to take at least one phone call. We have Professor Wole Soyinka has already lost credibility by not speaking out against the hardship inflicted on the people by Tinubu, his policies and his abilities, because he could have done better. He should have spoken out earlier about more important issues affecting Nigerians. A simple person knows already. We knew what was going to happen since the day he was giving guidelines for him to come back as Rivers State cadabra system of democracy that we're practicing. On Sheyi, it's their time. Where is Buhari now and his family? Are they still in Aso Rock? Arrogance. Is it because he's being accused of keeping mute all through this regime? Let's all keep quiet and... Okay. Good morning, Sage. The fear is the National Assembly is not... That has been explained. The Constitution allows the president to do so without the National Assembly in events where another country, especially one in such close proximity with your country. Nigeria in focus now. The matter to the National Assembly, and it should be attended to in at least 7 for the deployment of security agents to Benin Republic. So he didn't do any. You can argue that, was there really any evidence that that incursion would affect us or threaten our national security? That's an argument. For the American Senate for military approval to send rescue team to Nigeria. Donald Trump is not a good example for this, because Donald Trump deployed a National Guard to disperse protesters. That is unconstitutional. So I don't think he's the right example in this instance. But thank you so much. Hello, Mainland FM. The defection of Siminalayi Fubara is not coming as breaking news. I read this on WhatsApp already. We have good morning Sage thing wrong with their actions. All we're asking, Shoinka, is this play? Are you just waking up? At Jᴏɪṛ Apapa Lagos. So Prince Samuel Ofubuisi. Let me read 2 more messages. Good morning, Brigadier Diagbon and General Yakubu Gowon's children. Award is not for the wise. You tell Fubara to decamp to accord and follow him. Stop being emotional. And it's nice to be back, definitely. I missed all of you. Thank you very much. All right, thank you. Thank you so very much. The conversations continue. Don't forget, and threats to security that now is leaking into a lot of countries in the West African region. So please join that conversation by 4 p.m. and let's talk about it. I believe that will happen. So please listen to Midweek Politics, I beg your pardon, by 1 p.m. Today. There's still a lot coming your way. Don't go anywhere. Mainland 98.3 FM is the station. My name is Sage Babalola. Stay with us.